Monday and Tuesday as the big impact days for this next big cold front, our biggest since we've reached mid-February months ago. So we're talking about Tuesday probably as the coldest morning, but it will all start on Monday as that colder air rushes in with wind chills possibly in the 30s or even 20s. When you consider that early on Tuesday morning, we're going to be in the lower 30s, it looks like north of the lake, around 40 south. So what to do? Just think about dragging out your coats and bundling up a little bit for early next week. And also prepare if you're especially north of Lake Pontchartrain for maybe your first frost or freeze of the season. So you'll be looking at some of those precautions that we'll get into in just a second. Keep that in mind for Tuesday morning especially. Right now we're at 79 degrees. We've almost got this spring-like feel going as our humidity comes up a little bit, and it's still pleasant, but definitely warmer than what we had earlier this week. We're in the 70s almost everywhere, and here's what we have: a big high out to our east, and then also a little low at the mid levels of the atmosphere out to our south over the Gulf. And so both these things are driving in winds mainly from the south, and that is bringing in more Gulf moisture over South Louisiana at this point. So our dew point temperatures, our humidity has risen now up to upper 50s or around 60, and on our dew point scale, of course, that's a bit more humid compared to our dew points in the 30s and 40s like we had a few days ago with our last front, with that very dry fall-like kind of feeling air. Also, what this will do is that it may enhance our fog potential for early tomorrow. I'm starting here at at midnight tonight into early Thursday, and then look at this. Our models are picking up on some fog potential by around sunrise tomorrow, 6 a.m. Half-mile visibility possible in a few locations at least. So you'll want to keep that in mind if you're commuting early tomorrow. It should not last long though, because our temperatures will take off again to about 80 tomorrow and into the 80s Friday and Saturday. And so when we warm up so quickly in the mornings, that brings the fog potential to an end pretty early. So today highs about 79. A few spots are going to touch 80, I think, this afternoon. We have clouds mixed with our sun. And then tonight we'll look for 50s north of the lake and around 60 south with that patchy fog chance for early tomorrow. And also still looking at a beautiful full moon that we saw rising last night too. Our temperatures right now, of course, kind of balmy in the south part of the U.S. Then we have temperatures here in the greens, 50s to around 60. And then much colder air has been locked up off to our north. But check it out. We will see our pattern dropping this trough in and transporting some of that really far north cold air south into the U.S. And for us, even along our Gulf Coast spots, we're looking for temperatures eventually 30s and 40s. So here's our big weekend front. It's moving in Sunday. Saturday, though, we're way into the 80s, feeling warm. Sunday, we're dropping into the 70s, and then Monday, here we are with those temperatures only in the 50s for highs. And our cold weather impacts are not so much Monday morning because we'll also have a lot of wind. But on Tuesday, when the wind settles down a little bit, the purples are showing where it could reach light freeze conditions around 32 or a bit lower, and the blue is potential frost, which would be above freezing but still pretty close to some of that kind of frost forming along the ground. So remember to think about your plants, keep pets warm, check on people. Don't worry about your pipes with this freeze. This is not pipe bursting kind of cold, but it will certainly be our first big taste of winter as we head into Monday and Tuesday. So note Monday morning upper 30s to 40s. And then Tuesday morning, that's that light freeze north of the lake and upper 30s, even south of Lake Pontchartrain with highs in the 50s.